Hey folks, Jiminy Critic back here with a movie review for you today. We've got Dwayne Johnson, formerly known as The Rock. Johnson's new movie, The Tooth Fairy, is what we're going, actually Tooth Fairy is what we're going to talk about today. Also stars Ashley Judd, Stephen Merchant, which you might know from the days of The Office with, for the English version of The Office. He's about a 6'9" tall guy. He plays an interesting part in this movie, kind of funny. And Julie Andrews is back on the screen in this particular movie, Tooth Fairy, and we'll get to that in just a minute. Tooth Fairy is a comedy fantasy movie brought to you by Walden Media. Michael Lembeck directed this movie, and if you're familiar with Santa Claus 2 and Santa Claus 3, those are some of the most recent works that he's directed. This movie is rated PG, and again, as I usually say, I love to give out a film where you can just go with the family, not worry about language and dirt and filth on the screen and too much violence or bloodshed. This is a family movie you can take everyone to see. The younger kids even will get a kick out of some of the highlights in the hockey games and other things that go on. And it just comes in at about 101 minutes. Okay, the basic premise, Tooth Fairy. Where does this title come from? Well, it's got two meanings. Dwayne Johnson plays kind of on the downhill side of sports life. He's a hockey player, and of course he's getting a little bit older, so he's on the downward slope, and the young ones are coming in and kind of taking over the game. Well, it just so happens that he hasn't scored in hockey in years, in the last couple of years of playing, but what he's notable for is he can make hits that are really, really bad on the ice. And I mean hits where when he knocks into a guy, he'll literally pretty much knock a tooth or two out of the guy's mouth. And that's where he gets the nickname for the last couple of years of his career as the Tooth Fairy. He knocks teeth out of guys and puts them out of commission for the game. So there's that going for this particular game. But what happens is he's kind of in a relationship with Ashley Judd, who has a couple of kids, one of them being a young girl. And one part of the movie, she of course loses a tooth and wants to put it under her pillow and expects the Tooth Fairy to come and exchange it for money. You know how kids are with that kind of thing. And just as he's about ready to tell her, hey, you're too old to believe in this kind of thing, and the girlfriend cuts him off and calms the daughter down and tells her everything's going to be fine. Well, it just so happens that Julie Andrews is in charge of the Tooth Fairy Kingdom and the Tooth Fairies that are out there. And by the way, there is more than one. There's a whole land, like Santa has his workshop in the North Pole. Well, Julie Andrews rules over the Tooth Fairies wherever they're located, and there's a bunch of them. He, because of his cynicism and depriving children of the truth and reality of the Tooth Fairy in their lives, the fantasy that they want to believe in, he has to serve for 2 weeks as a Tooth Fairy under her direction and see what it's like to visit these kids who have hopes and dreams and fantasies about this, and if he can do it. And of course, some of the hilarity is that he doesn't want to do it. First of all, he doesn't believe in it, but he starts to soften up a little as the movie goes on, and you'll enjoy some of the comedic things that happen with him. There's a special outfit that he has to wear that of course is totally unmasculine and he isn't thrilled with, but he has to wear it to be the Tooth Fairy for those couple of weeks, and he can be called at any moment to go do this job because you never know when a kid's going to bed somewhere and putting the tooth under, and if he gets the call on his special pager phone, he's got to stop what he's doing and take off and go do the job. So the whole movie plays out. How does he do the job? Does he do well? Does he do poorly? Does he succeed? Does he have a career in the NHL? Is it all over with? You need to take your family and check out this fun, lighthearted, easygoing comedy, Tooth Fairy.